while I was doing research on this whole Samhain thing, the ancient pagans, bro, would observe 7 days of Samhain. They would observe the 3 days before, the day of Samhain, and then 3 days after. And yeah, dude. And then they would celebrate with feasting. They would celebrate with it because they would spend the entire year working and the summer working, getting ready for the harvest, getting ready for the winter. So this was like their kind of like release week, right? So you know what was going down that release week, bro.
Las distracciones y narrativas reinan este mundo tecnológico. Todos tienen una opinión de lo que es la verdad y lo que es mentira. ¿Quién controla el mundo? Los aliens son real. ¿Vivimos en un Matrix? Estas preguntas serán debatidas con José y Daniel G, explorando y descubriendo las verdades de nuestro mundo, nuestras creencias y nuestro reality. Welcome to Cultura Truth Project.
Dímelo, mi gente. Welcome back. Es otro episodio. Cultura Truth Project. José G. Daniel G. Dímelo. ¿Qué es la que, papi?
Oh, you know, this is my alter ego today. Things are gonna get crazy.
We
don't know what's
happening.
happening.
Plus size Timu Bruno Mars up in here tonight.
Bro, they call me Danny Mars. Danny Mars.
No, te dicen Danny Martes.
Danny Mars. Danny Marte. You know, de calle, you know.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
This is gonna be great.
If y'all are watching, if y'all are listening on the podcast side, Danny is wearing an afro wig, got a gold chain. He sprayed about half a bottle of cologne. I can smell him all the way out here. And he's looking like an utter and total legend right now. So,
you know,
that's like my word for the fall. Legend.
You know, Jose, some men want to be legends, some men want to be great, but others are just born this way. And I have been born to become a legend, and I have become, and Rala, this is my final form.
Preach. Love it.
And this is my final form. The only thing that's going to be better is when I get the gray wig. That is like, you know, like Frieza black. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like, it's going to be like Frieza black, bro. We're just going to continue evolving. It's like, this is my final form. Then Dragon Ball Super comes around. Psych, I went gold. Now I'm going Frieza black.
Okay. I feel you, bro. I feel you. Those are the vibes. Those are the vibes you're putting out. I absolutely feel it, bro. Love it. Pero nada, mi gente. Today, we got a lot to talk about. We're a week away from the holiday known as Halloween. Woo! I wish I had. I promise.
By the year 2025,
we're definitely going to have a soundboard where I can just have those things ready. Promise.
Yes. I will get one on my end too. That way, just in case I get, you know.
Yes, absolutely. But that's going to happen. Anywho. So today we're going to be talking about Halloween, the origin of Halloween, Samhain. Is it Samhain? Is it Samhain? I don't know. But it's going to be an interesting topic. We got some videos and some articles we're going to be sharing, and we're also going to be covering some election stuff too, because, you know, we're wrestling fans up in here, but the WWE is all over this damn election, bro. Batista's on the Democrat side, and then you got Hulk Hogan, Undertaker, and Kane over on Trump's side. So we got some videos to show. get
You know
some
what's crazy?
reactions.
You know what's? I will say this before we get to the point of that. Why is he on the Democratic like Batista? You're a bodybuilder.
He's an actor,
You're a
bro. He's a
martial
Hollywood
art.
actor.
You
He's a
know what? You're
Hollywood
right. He
Illuminati actor.
sold his soul. This is exactly
He's a
like it.
Hollywood bro. He literally has, and I'll show you later. He literally has a tattoo of the pyramid with the all-seeing eye on his chest where his heart is. So, of course, he's gonna be on that side. But you know
Freaking
what?
honest.
We're not here to be
He's a hell of a
political.
fly.
We're just here to point out all the crazy ass shit that's going on around. Pero nada, bro. What do you
He's a
want to start
humble
with? You want to
fly.
start with the with the politics and wrestling stuff, or you want to start with the Halloween stuff?
Well, if we're gonna
Oh, by
start
the
with
way,
wrestling,
you want to start with wrestling? All right, cool.
if we're gonna start with wrestling, we need to say one thing. This bloodline story is getting intriguing. I thought it
It
was
is.
over. I thought it was like they lost me. And then all of a sudden Jay Uso got back involved. And I'm like, God darn it, I'm back at it again.
Now you're in. Now you're in. That's a good telenovela. That's cinema right there, bro. But as always, guys, make sure you follow us on all of our socials on YouTube and on Rumble at Cultura Truth Project, Gonzalez Media TV on Facebook and on Instagram. Subscribe to the podcast on all major platforms on Spotify, yeet, Apple Podcast, yeet, iHeartRadio, yeet, Google Podcast,
Yeet.
and leave us a 5-star review.
Yeah.
Yeah. And guys, make sure you show your support by joining the supporters only at Supporters Club on Spreaker for $3 a month. Link in the description. Make sure you guys show your support. You get audio only where you can't get anywhere else, only on there, not on YouTube, not on Rumble, not anywhere else, only on Spreaker, on the supporters only. $3 a month. Link in the description. Much appreciated. We love that. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Share the show if you're watching on YouTube, and leave us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know where what you think about tonight's topics. So let's jump into it, bro. So
We should have
All
a
right,
sound
man.
every time we jump into the topics, right? Like get super serious and be like, doo-doo.
don't worry, I'm gonna do some upgrades under production when we start, when we start going to next year. There's some new platforms I've been doing some research on that we can get some nice transitions and some nice effects for the YouTube side. So don't worry, man. We're gonna upgrade soon. We're gonna upgrade soon.
It's gonna be great. We need a heckle. We need somebody to be heckling. We need a little. We need a mascot. Jose, we need a mascot.
We need a mascot.
You think we need a mascot? I'm gonna let y'all decide.
I'm always down for that.
YouTube, Spreaker, Instagram, wherever other platforms we're on. If you believe we need a mascot, let us know.
Shout out to y'all. So Danny, we got the elections coming up in 2 weeks, and we have Halloween in 1 week. But right now, what's occupying everybody's mind and attention is this election and these candidates, which are, in my opinion, and you don't have to subscribe to my opinion, but in my opinion, are a complete and utter joke. On both sides.
Yeah, that makes about complete sense. There are jokes,
and
one is a better one than the other, though. Let's be real.
Exactly, but both sides are now resorting to grabbing into the popularity of pro wrestling, which we both are huge fans of, and the Democrats got their golden boy because he's part of Hollywood, Dave Batista, to line up with Kamala Harris. And then over on the Republican side, Donald Trump grabs, not only but 3 legends, Hulk Hogan,
Bad idea.
The Undertaker,
Good idea.
and Kane.
Good idea. Not bad.
So
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
have you seen any of these videos that popped up from
I've
any
seen
of them?
that. I've seen them. I mean, here's the thing. I didn't see the one with Dave Batista till earlier today, but I will say the ones for Trump and especially with I'm gonna use his government name because I don't even want to give him the credit of being the greatest influencer of all time. Terry Bollea.
What's your problem with Hulk, bro?
What is not to have a problem with Hulk? That dude, bro. Come on,
dude. I just watched his interview with PBD today, man. He had an amazing interview. Dude, he's a human, bro.
Yeah, for sure. But also, I saw the McMahon documentary, and I am not a fan. Okay, I'm not a fan. Let's just say I am not a fan of the Hulk. I like the Hulkster character. I think that he was good for the time, but Terry Bollea, the human, I'm gonna say he's still being worked on.
Bueno, that is a judgment that is reserved for Yahweh, and I think that we all should show him a little bit of grace. He's made mistakes, as we all do, right? His interview, I highly suggest that you check out his interview with PBD, man. Insightful. He opens up about his dad. He opens up about his upbringing. Very, very insightful, and it made me look at him in a new light. So I don't necessarily think, and here's the other thing that he revealed in that interview, that he's actually really close with Trump, even before he was like a presidential candidate. Like back when, during WrestleMania 4 and 5, when Vince McMahon, he actually had that event at Trump Plaza. So he already had he had a business relationship with Trump during those days. So what Hulk Hogan was explaining during the podcast, that the reason that he decided to kind of speak up and get into this was because of the assassination attempt. He felt like it was his, his calling to speak out about it, and why to align himself with Trump. Now, that's just how I feel about it. You may have your own opinions about it, and that's totally fine. Everybody, I know that he's done some shady ass stuff in the past, and he's, said some things and done some stuff. But again, we're human, and sometimes we need to just like forgive and just kind of keep moving forward.
Oh no, dude, it's not a forgiveness thing. I think everybody's entitled to mistakes, and there's always a path to redemption. But let's be honest, man. I mean, Terry Bollea comes from an era in wrestling where kayfabe was a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and even when he did the Rogan podcast, like, he did not sound 100%, right? Like he was telling stories that were.
How long ago was that?
It's about a year ago.
Mm.
When he did the Rogan podcast, and he was talking about, especially like about the whole Bruiser Brody thing, and then people that actually were at the Bruiser Brody thing. And if you don't know who Bruiser Brody, he's a wrestler that got killed in Puerto Rico back in the late 80s. He was like, "Oh, I was there," and I was like, "No, you weren't. You weren't even slated to be on that show. How were you there?" So it's like there's a credibility factor that I think ties in with Terry, especially with the whole thing with the lawsuit from 10, 15 years ago now, that they did the documentary on. So like, I get it, man. There's a path to redemption. I think there is a path to redemption. I think him as a wrestler, as a performer, Mount Rushmore for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
But like, human being, bro. That's what I'm like, bro. Homie, like Trump. I get it. You're capturing
like
that.
I said, watch the interview, and for you guys, the listeners, and y'all on YouTube, check out the interview. I'll have a link in the description for y'all, so y'all can check out that interview. Very, very insightful. But let's talk about the other ones now that we got Undertaker, Kane involved with Trump, and now we got Kamala Harris with Batista. And I know you already seen these videos, but let's take a quick look again at these videos, so that way the audience can check them out really quick. But this one's the one from Kamala and Dave Batista. Hold on, let me bring this one up. There it is.
Fellas, we gotta talk. A lot of men seem to think that Donald Trump is some kind of tough guy. He's not. I mean, look at him. He wears more makeup than Dolly Parton. One is a baby. The guy's afraid of birds.
And this is on Jimmy Kimmel, by the way. So again,
Yeah,
mainstream Illuminati, bro.
Trump had his daddy pay a doctor to say his little feet hurt so he could dodge the draft. Look at that gut. Like a garbage bag full of buttermilk. He sells imaginary baseball cards pretending to be a...
He is funny, though. He can be funny. He has good timing and good delivery.
No, he's very coached in that, and plus he's been in pro wrestling, so this makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
cowboy fireman. Guy's barely strong enough to hold an umbrella. I mean, look how he drinks water. Like a little pink chickadee.
I love this.
He's got jugs.
I love and hate this all at the same time.
Like Dolly Parton. He cheats at golf. He creeps around beauty pageant dressing rooms. You know that little dance he does? He looks like he's jacking off a pair of giraffes.
I mean, he ain't wrong. Danny, that's pretty spot on, bro. Have you been practicing?
Oh no, yeah, I did this on stage forever. I was like, no, dude. You know, okay, so here's the thing. Let's cut through the crap. I'm sure if Dave Batista had his true, like, who would I'd rather hang out with? I would guarantee he'd probably hang out with Trump over Kamala. I guarantee it.
He can't say that in public.
Oh no, he can't say that in public. I'm sure in the ballot box
he'll be blacklisted.
Of course. I mean, and also the dude must be like off steroids and on Ozempic now because the dude looks like he lost.
He's super slim now, man. He definitely
he looks disgusting. I'm like, bro, get back on the juice, please.
Let's finish this video.
He's a soy boy now.
It's a soy boy.
He's moody, he pouts, he throws tantrums.
No, get those lights off!
He acts like a 5-year-old behind the wheel of a truck. He bends over for Putin. He's cattier on social media than a middle school bean girl. The guy needs help walking downhill. Almost there, Grandma. This November, let's stop kidding ourselves. Donald Trump is afraid of rain, of dogs, of windmills, Merle Street, and being laughed at.
Isn't it past your jail time?
And mostly,
good comedic timing and good running. I mean,
American men find out that he's a weak, tubby toddler.
Mommy, take me home. Mommy, I want to go home.
What's wrong, tough guy?
Great.
Did someone grab you by the
Yeah, probably.
bitch?
Okay.
There's that one. There's that one. So, all right.
Jeez. Okay, so
let's break that down. Let's break that down, bro.
Here's my problem with this, and it has nothing to do with the comedy. It was actually very well written. Shout out to the guys at Jimmy Kimmel, right? It's the fact that literally Dave Batista has been on national TV via WWE. Yes, he was playing a character, but the dude was legit crying because he didn't get a shot at the title. So it's like, to me, it's kind of funny. Give me what I want. Give me what I deserve. Give me what I want. Was it a good run for him? Yes, it was. I will agree. And I'm still a fan of Dave Batista. I think the dude does great movies. I think he's a great character or was a great character in wrestling. Love him in Guardians of the Galaxy. Love him in that movie. What's it called? Where he's the Last Days or whatever it's called. He's great. He is great. But definitely did it for the paycheck. I think if you asked him, hey, who would you rather have a beer with and hang out? I mean, I think I'm gonna go with the Trumpsters over the Kamalas. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, but that's just mine. I don't know. And I'm not a Trumpster guy. I'm just saying that I'm still voting third party this time around and taking votes away from both people.
I mean, here's the proof, bro. There's a tattoo right there.
But he's also He's also a dude. That is Jose. Isn't that the Filipino thing? Look up the Filipino flag. Let's
Dude,
not accuse him of
that is a triangle with an eye
Jose.
in it.
Look up the Filipino flag star thing because I think that's
Filipino
the Filipino
flag does
star.
not have that, dude. Not that
Yes,
I know
it does.
of.
Yes, it does. Come on, let's not accuse the guy of something he's probably not a part of. I'm not saying he's not a part
the
of.
Filipino flag does not have that on there. It has the star, but it doesn't have that per se. Let me show you. See, so there's the star right over
Zoom
here.
in on that. Zoom in on that. Zoom in on that.
I mean, I don't know how much more I can zoom.
There's another one. There's a bigger one up at top. Let me see.
See?
I don't know. We'll see.
See, so that star is the Filipino star, is the Filipino, but he has the pyramid with the eye in the center.
Ay, pues.
It's very evident, bro.
He's added to the list of the Illuminati people we're not allowed to be fans of anymore.
Very, very, very
great.
evident.
Great.
But I mean, it goes
all
on
of my
both
pop
sides.
culture.
It goes on both sides. That the Illuminati is going to be on both sides, bro.
Dude,
but now that we saw that video with Kamala, let's get the reaction on the one with Trump, because they directly call out Batista on this one, bro. Like straight up.
That's
like
funny.
the Undertaker. Like you don't mess with the Undertaker, bro. And it only took this one 17 seconds, and it went way more viral than that other one.
All right, everyone. November 5th, Election Mania. Choice is yours. You can go with President Trump, Kane, and the Undertaker, or you can take Kamala Harris, Dave Batista, and Tim Walz. Choose wisely.
I love how they include like the really skinny version picture of Batista while they're. It's like, oh, you want these stupid people? That in your government? No.
Should be an easy choice.
Should be an easy choice.
Here's the thing. I love Undertaker, and I love his character, and I love that he just cut a promo, probably the best of his career. Okay, let's be real. That's like the best promo of his career because he was never known as a promo guy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's his best promo of his career. I mean, he's not wrestling. He's not in a ring, so I can't really call it a promo. But
it is a promo. It's a promo for the president.
Yeah, it's an endorsement. It's an endorsement. Yeah, it is a promo in a sense, sure.
Didn't you say,
I wouldn't say if it's his best promo, but the other one was funnier.
Oh yeah, no, not for sure.
The other one was way funnier.
How many people were writing for Dave Batista on that Jimmy Kimmel team? What, at least 7 comics, right?
Could be.
No, there's at least 7 comics in that writing room, writing jokes for Jimmy Kimmel and all his guests. And then you have Donald Trump that probably showed up. It was like, hey guys, I love y'all. Love to be here. Let's film this thing real quick and be done. Yeah, 15 seconds. And then go, okay, so just talk about Dave Batista and the 3 other people. All right, let's do this. And like, should be great. Election Mania. Just call it Election Mania.
Millions of views, bro. Millions of views.
Bro, like, here's the thing. When it comes to social media and promotion and putting himself out there, whether it's good or bad, or you love him or you hate him, the best to do it, the GOAT of all time is Donald Trump.
Dude, and you know what's one thing that I noticed during this election season? Because one thing I did this year, and I don't know how it is in Texas, but in Florida, regular TV, they bombard you with ads, bro, with just crazy election ads, right? So we cut off all TV. We only have like apps, so like we just watch like the local news in the app because we don't get any commercials that way. And we paid for like some of the streaming services to make sure that we don't get any commercials, right?
Yeah, same
so, but then on the contrary, Trump is smart because Trump, what he's doing, that he's going to all the big podcasts, all the big mainstream podcasts.
All of them. Doesn't matter what genre.
The one that he still hasn't done is Rogan. And I think he's scheduled to do Rogan before the election.
They announced it. That was the October surprise, in my opinion.
So if he does Rogan,
He's winning.
And to be honest, like he's been trending now for the last few days with that whole McDonald's thing that went super viral too. But you know what? That might win him the election.
Here's the thing.
That and going on Rogan.
Here's the thing. And I'm about to get super conspiratorial here, right? Like this is
go. Do it. There's a show for it.
Whether you like Trump or not, Kamala Harris's team and the Democrat Party and the elite in this country were not planning on Donald Trump being alive this far and this close to the election.
They tried 3 times, right?
That we know of. They were not planning on that man being alive this close to this election. They've done everything to talk about, going back to the episode we did about Cody Rhodes a few months ago. Mm-hmm. They've tried everything to stop this man. Everything. Whether you like him or not, whether you vote for him or not, I, at this point, believe there's nothing they can do. He has no record to run on, not as a senator, not as a prosecutor, not as a vice president. If you're just looking at it politically, right? She has no record to run on. If she's going off the Democrat Party's record as a whole, they have no record to run on either, whether you like him or not, and all the failures that he has as a president, because every president has a failure. We have to be honest about that, and we have to be intellectually honest about that. They did not plan on this. They are scrambling. And here's the thing. Donald Trump, you've thrown everything at this man. What else are you going to throw at him? What else? Like, what else? And at this point, who cares?
And I think the people are starting to realize that. I think they're tired of the nonsense. They're tired of, they're just like, all right, let's try to have a functioning government. But as long as the other side is in power, God forbid, but you're right, man. It's like they've done everything. It's like, well, what does a bully do on their corner? They start swinging haymakers, right?
And Donald Trump is right now. Donald Trump is Rocky in the 12th round. He's just like, I'm already beat up.
He's like at this moment, like he's like Ultra Instinct Goku. He's like,
oh, bro.
Again, not endorsing Trump, not endorsing Kamala Harris, but it's hella entertaining. And I've always said that politics is exactly like pro wrestling. And sure enough, 3 legends already involved, 4 legends.
Here's the thing. And it's funny we talked about this, and I think it's hilarious how it's played out, because we almost covered this, right? Like we covered this months ago. I feel like we're redoing this podcast.
You're talking about the again. Cody Rhodes and Donald Trump similarities. This
is I think I was wearing a wig then too. Yeah. So yeah, like 6 months ago. So we talked about it, and like in that storyline, Cody Rhodes, they threw everything in the kitchen sink to make sure he didn't become champion. Like he even lost the night 1 match, setting him up for failure. And now we're played out and everything here. It's like he literally, if you think about it, Trump already lost the night 1 match of his WrestleMania moment. And he's set up for failure. And it looks like he's still going to win. And if he doesn't win, it's not going to affect me. I don't operate on
exactly.
On this
so are you saying that like the debate was like the night 1 match?
No, I think the assassination attempt was night 1. I think the debate was night 1. I think I think that the lawsuits, I think that all these things are night 1 stuff. I think the fact that they pulled Biden out of the race so early was like, yo, it is what it is. And the fact is, when you look at like, yes, she's winning the popular vote, but come on, we live in the United States of freaking America. Popular vote means nada, okay? It's what states do you win? And he's winning the Rust Belt. He's winning every swing state. There is not a state that is a matter of contention that he is not winning by at least 4 points. And it's ridiculous. Like when you look at the Real Clear Politics and all these polls and all these smart people that do all these numbers, he is winning on a lot of the swing states.
Which we know that these polls don't mean nothing anyways. Because
don't mean nothing.
In the last 3 election cycles, The polls have not gotten it right.
They haven't gotten it right, but I'll tell you this much. They got it really wrong with Trump last time. And I don't know if they're overcorrecting, but I'm telling you, man, I've been on the streets. I've been in the comedy clubs. Bro, you go to your gym and you talk to men and you talk to women and they're just like, they don't talk about it. What happens when people don't talk about politics? They're afraid. They're afraid to tell you their opinion. You know why? Because that's kind of like the unspoken. We know how you're voting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when they don't talk about it, it's like, oh, closet conservative. You know what I'm saying? Like you might not agree with his social policies, but like money talks, bullshit walks. You made more money under Trump than you did under Biden.
Yeah. And but then you'll have the argument like Obama was like there. He was saying, oh yeah, he didn't do that. That was my economy. You know, it's like, okay. And that's the thing, right? It's like, it doesn't matter what one person does, because we did have a good economy. But then all this other stuff happened during 2020. Everything gets shut down. Honestly, I just think, from the conspiratorial lens, right? If we were thinking about how interwoven the Illuminati is on both sides, right? In my opinion, I just think like Donald Trump in this case was okay being the scapegoat. He was okay being the guy being hated. Like the Illuminati came to them. He's like, all right, this is your script. This is what you need to be doing. And this is how we're going to make you look. Are you okay with that?
Here's the thing.
Of course I'm okay.
I'm not saying he's not.
Best job of being the best scapegoat.
Here's the thing, whether you agree with this or not, and this is what I'm thinking, right? This is not a whatever, but when you think about it, his policies go against the elite and the Illuminati. Like, so is it controlled opposition? Possibly. I'm not denying that. But
he's
at the
part
same
of that circle, dude. Like he's part of that.
But he's not though.
But he's
not. What? Because he has billions of dollars in his bank account and he owns.
He is. You don't think he's been in those fucking Bohemian Grove meetings, bro? You don't think he's been a part of those secret parties? He's been part of those, bro. He's part of the group.
If you had $1 billion, you'd be invited too.
I'm just saying, Danny. I'm just saying he's definitely involved one way or another. It's just a lot of people idolize these characters, bro. I'm not saying that you're idolizing. I'm not saying that you are, but
definitely characters. They're definitely the characters.
But a lot of people idolize these characters and don't want to look at them in that lens. But the fact of the matter is that both him and her are part of the same circle, but they're just on different sides. But they're still part of the same circle. They're all fucking having beer behind the fucking camera lens. Yeah, they probably have a lot of big time policy disagreements, but at the end of the day, dude, when it comes to the stuff that we don't see, to the stuff that the news doesn't report on, that the media doesn't talk about, like the whole de-dollarization issue that's happening on a fucking worldwide level, they're not talking about it.
I wish they would talk about that.
They're not talking about it, and it's getting at a really bad level. And these are the people that are making it happen, because these are the people that are super tied in very, very close to the people at power that manage the money. And the people that manage the money are the banks. And these people are very tied in one way or another. That's why I say that he is part of that circle, because in his first run, okay, I'm not even going to call it his 4-year term. I'm just going to call it a run, because this is all pro wrestling, right? In his first run, his cabinet was made up of CEOs, and those CEOs are definitely connected with the banks and with the inner circles who make those financial and monetary decisions on a global scale. So, bro, they
so
have
is
to be involved.
Biden's cabinet. So was Bush's cabinet. So was all these
exactly.
people.
They're all
these
part
lobbyists.
of the circle. It's
All
like,
these lobbyists,
what is it that
it's
Carlin says? There's one big club and you ain't part of it.
This is true. I'm not part of it. Are you part of it?
I ain't part of it, but they are.
I'm part of this club.
We're part of this club. Cultura
club.
Project
Right,
Club.
right.
What up, y'all?
Mm.
What up, y'all?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna throw up that sign anymore. I'm not gonna throw up those devil horns anymore.
I always thought it was Wolfpack.
I thought so too, but
Or
that's how the devil deceives you. Anyways, guys, smash that like button.
Or
Share the
University
show.
of South Florida, they also do this, and so does Hook'em Horns in Texas.
I know, but orange. I don't know. Symbolism, bro. Anyways, let's talk about Halloween.
Ugh.
A week before. It's your least
season.
favorite holiday, yet you're just for the occasion, bro. I'm proud of you.
Dude. I'm just
facing your least liked holiday.
There was a point in time where being young and celebrating the hollows of Weens and the weenies of hollow
the hollows of Weens.
was a fun time. A fun drunken time.
It was a fun time. Yeah, it definitely was a fun time. I don't partake in it as much anymore.
Well, I'm a stepdaddy now, so now I kind of have to do the parent side of things.
Oh, that's right. Have you gone? Are you gonna be doing trick or treating this year?
I don't know. I know that he had something with the school, and he dressed up, and
BT Dubs, amazing school picture.
Dude,
legendary.
Jose, that is the one thing we're not supposed to talk about, that, sir. Definitely
I'm just gonna say legendary.
It was one of those things where it's like, we don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno, Jose. We don't talk about Bruno. But yes, it was legendary.
God, those are the things legends are made of, bro.
Let's just say that we have potentially the new meme of 2024 if I were to release it. The problem is there's a lot of working things, and we're not ready to release that to the thing. We'll wait.
Yeah,
we'll wait.
All I'm gonna say, it's absolutely legendary.
But it was funny. It was funny. It was funny. It definitely got the family chat going. Got him going.
Oh good. Oh good, bro.
We need to get that sound, the Will Ferrell sound. It was like, it was provocative. It got the people going. We need to get that on the soundboard too.
Oh yeah, for sure, God, bro.
Dude, it was great. It's funny that that picture got around to a couple of the guys at the jiu-jitsu gym who know my son. And they all said the same thing. It just encapsulates his personality in a nutshell. And it's not going to win him any pageants anytime soon. And I feel like there's a lot of myself in that.
So good, bro. I'm tearing up of how good it is because I'm just remembering.
And his personality, so like it
man. Shit,
dude. It reminds me of my 6th grade school picture and how bad that was.
Dude, they've never, yeah.
It's just, I think if you've ever been to public school, it is definitely one of those like 5th, 6th, and 7th grade school pictures are the ones where you like, if you have a pretty girl, you're bringing them home for the first time. Those are the ones you dread that mama doesn't bring out, if you know what I'm talking about. It's just one of those. You're like, please, mama, don't. And she's like, no, mijo, it's fine, mijo. Mira, look, this one's the one with your pee-pee, and then this one's the one from 6th grade. She needs to see this.
Yeah, I don't miss that. I don't miss that.
So my fiance is off camera, and she just flashed a picture at me. Do I have your permission to share it with the internet?
No, don't do that.
Can we block out the school logo and just cut him out? Can we make him into a meme officially? Hold on, I am trying to.
No, bro, you're gonna ruin his life.
or he wants to be YouTube famous. This is like
But
fulfilling.
that's not
his
even
dream.
being YouTube famous, bro. That's like
Becoming a meme is probably
becoming.
the best
That's like becoming part of the "What do you meme" card game, bro. And he's not even getting paid royalties for that shit, bro. Like, let's
yeah. We
like
need
if
to
we're
make a
gonna put
website.
something with his image online, like let's make sure that we can make some money off of that.
Let's 100%. So
All right, so let's hold off on that.
We're gonna hold off. We've decided to hold off.
Let's hold off
This is
on that.
great. This is great. But
All right, so
what
Halloween.
we'll do for Halloween, exclusive only for Halloween. If you're part of the subscribers club, the supporters club, we will do a limited showing, and we will copyright it, and we will do what we have to do. We'll figure it out. We'll talk behind the scenes. But this,
It's just too epic. It's
epic.
It's again legendary. All right, bro. So you got your whole parent side of Halloween that you're approaching.
It's weird, bro.
So yeah, so like how as a parent, now that you're kind of diving into this world of fatherhood, and like, are you looking forward to doing some of those activities with him, or are you a little bit apprehensive of
I am
like
way more
apprehensive of exposing him to Halloween and kind of like that culture and tradition?
As a believer, as a follower of the way, I am way more apprehensive. Like, especially like with the type of stuff that he's into at his age, right? Like, he wants the more scarier stuff. He wants to do more of the cutty, edgy stuff. He's kind of past the whole dressing up like a boxer, being a TV character. He's past that stage. Like, he wants to wear the gory, the more demonic stuff. And I'm like, let's pump the brakes, dog. Like, like, let's dress up as Cobra Kai. That's cool, right? Like, but he doesn't want that. He wants more of the creep factor, which I understand, right? Like, we all went through that. Like, I think it's part of the growing up process, but I also know that spiritually it can open him up to certain things. I know his mom is big into like spooky season and scary movies and stuff like that. I'm personally not into that stuff, but it's definitely, it's a different perspective. Like, I know, like, other than like last year for Ellie's 70th birthday party, we didn't, or 70th birthday party, 70th themed birthday party.
God forbid, Ellie's 70.
Shit, she will be one day, and she's gonna look like she's 25 because technology and and Latina genes. She's gonna find a way to like infuse the coconut oil into her skin or something. I don't know, but dude, it's just different. Like, I mean it. Like, it's different. Like, I never thought I'd be in this position. Trying to think about, it's like, do we let him? Are we going to be those weird parents that like don't let him go out? Is he going to go trick or treating? He's definitely not trick or treating in my neighborhood. Are we going to go to do the trunk or treats with the church? Is our church even going to do anything? Because usually at least I came up. I'm younger than you by almost a decade, so I came up slightly differently than you. You and I went trick-or-treating when I was a kid. But by the time I was his age, the trick-or-treating wasn't a thing like that. It was more of a, hey, we're going to go to the church and we're going to do like the trunk-or-treats, right? Like the fall festivals where it wasn't on Halloween. It was either like a week before or like a week after. And you would still dress up, but it would be like super controlled, or the parents will stand outside of the cars and they'll give out candy. I'm okay with that. I just don't know how I feel about like him as he gets older going to Halloween parties and doing the whole mischievous thing. I know it's like a part of culture and like the culture of America of like, hey, this is kind of a coming of age thing. So he's going to do it one way or the other. I don't know. I just told him he knows the rules. We're in a Puerto Rican household. So you gotta go to school, clean, and in my case, you got to do jujitsu until you're 18. Other than that, like, we'll discuss all the other details.
Well, I think you should be apprehensive, right? especially coming from a household of faith and having all these teachings and all these things when it comes to Halloween. Now, I always kind of like hesitate to label things demonic because not everything
Right.
is demonic, right?
This is
And
fair.
there's always been that label on Halloween that it's a demonic holiday. And there's a lot of things that are demonic, but I don't think that particularly this holiday is demonic. And
It
there's
has
a lot of history to prove it.
No, yeah. So there's like the Christian aspect of it, right? Which
Mhm.
there's a big, heavy influence on Halloween being part of All Hallows Eve, which is not a demonic thing. But then there's the pagan side of things, which gets a little sketchy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So let's
That's a
break it
little
down,
sketchy.
bro.
It's a
I
little
got
sketchy.
a quick short video, and then we're gonna jump into some wiki stuff up in here, and
The
break
best source
everything
of
down because
information, Wikipedia.
yeah, man. I think it's very important that everybody knows like the origin of Halloween, what it represents, what it really is, and use your discernment if you want to participate in it or not. Not saying that you should or shouldn't. Just use your discernment. But here's this first video, quick, short, and then we'll dive into some of these wiki articles.
All Hallows Eve, the evening before All Saints' Day, a Christian holiday. The iconic jack-o'-lanterns were originally carved from turnips in Ireland and Scotland. Immigrants brought the tradition to America, where pumpkins were more abundant and easier to carve. And did you know that souling was a medieval Christian precursor to modern trick-or-treat? Children and the poor would go door to door, offering prayers for the dead in exchange for soul cake.
Igualito que ahora. you, you imagine if kids would go door to door now? He was like, hey, sir, can I pray for your deceased family in order so I can get some food from you? That would be way nicer trick or treat, wouldn't you say?
I'd probably still slam the door on these people.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
Lastly, the colors of Halloween, orange and black, have symbolic meanings. Orange represents the harvest and changing seasons, while black signifies the boundaries between life and death. The spooky
Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, so Halloween has a long history, bro. So commonly known as All Hallows Eve or Al Halloween, celebration observed in many countries on the eve of the Western Christian feast of All Hallows Day, is at the beginning observance of All Hallow Tide in the, let's see here. Okay. One of the theories that holds many of the Halloween traditions were influenced by the Celtic harvest festivals, particularly the Gaelic festival Samhain, which is right here, which is believed to be to have pagan roots. Some go further and suggest that Samhain may have been Christianized as All Hallows Day, along with its eve by the early church. So, I guess during those early days when they were fusing paganism with Catholicism or Christianism.
So there's a weird thing, and to comment on this, right? So there's this like debate amongst Christian circles, especially when it comes to, and there's a great podcast Ruslan did on this. He did like an hour-long podcast on this, where they talk about, do we redeem Halloween or do we reject Halloween, right? And I think that's a great conversation to have as a family, right? Like right, like not everything is necessarily bad about this time of year. I'm gonna take this off. This is becoming ridiculous. Not everything is bad about this time of year. Oh, I just look gay. This is weird. I'm putting it back on.
Just take off your wig, bro.
No, I'm keeping this character. Anyway,
Just commit.
I'm committing. I'm having a moment of crisis because it's just. Anyway,
Just look at the camera.
Anyway, the point is, right? Like, we have this. Do we redeem or do we reject? And like, I think it's like that's the conversation that me and my fiance are having, over what we will do, not only with him, but with our future children. Are we going to redeem some of these things that are good, right? Like, the innocence of dressing up as your favorite character is not a bad thing, right? The going to the church and the fall festival is not necessarily a bad thing, but we also have to acknowledge its pagan roots and the potential, like example, and something that I was reading today, like a lot of the traditions that you see at a Halloween party, like the bobbing for apples, is a fertility ritual from the pagans. Do you want your child to partake in a fertility ritual for the pagans?
The bonfire is also symbolism for other type of worship. And again, it's all pagan, bro. So like when you go, or like even when we go into the Samhain section of Wiki right over here, Samhain, Scottish Gaelic, and it's weird how it's written, but how it's pronounced, right? It's written Samhain, but pronounced Samhain. So anyway, so this is part of a different calendar. So, you know, we have our calendar, right? But there's also the occult calendar. And the occult calendar, this is what paganism is based off of, just like how we have our own seasons and of the year. Well, in the occult pagan calendar, everything is kind of spelled out. You know how during Christmas you hear the Christmas song that says Yuletide, Yuletide times or whatever. Yule is a season in the pagan calendar, bro. Just like Samhain is also a season in the pagan calendar, as well as Beltane, which is usually in the summer. So these are all seasons within the pagan calendar that they use. And I mean,
it's the same thing, right? Like the Jewish have their own stuff too. Like I think it was like a week or two ago, we celebrated a Jewish holiday.
Yeah, I think it was a Yom Kippur. No, that's coming up. Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah. I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not Jewish. I don't know these things. I apologize.
No, it's definitely Rosh Hashanah.
But it's like, it's also like that time of year. Like it falls in this time of year. Dude, it's just weird.
Here it is. Yeah. So this is the pagan calendar, and you'll see the Yule, which aligns with the winter solstice, Imbolc, which is the spring, Ostana, the spring equinox. So they observe the spring equinox and the sun, the positions of the sun, much like a lot of the calendars do, but particularly in paganism, they really, really observe the position of the sun. Then Beltane is the summer, Lita. I don't know what this one is. Lugasat. I don't know if it's whatever that is.
Bro, I don't
Maban, which is the beginning of autumn, and then Samhain, which is their new year. So again, why do you think people would go all the way out? And then when I was doing research on this whole Samhain thing, the ancient pagans, bro, would observe 7 days of Samhain. They would observe the 3 days before, the day of Samhain, and then 3 days after.
What do they think? They're Puerto Rican or something?
And yeah, dude. And then they would celebrate with feasting. They would celebrate with it because they would spend the entire year working, and the summer working, getting ready for the harvest, getting ready for the winter. So this was like their kind of like release week, right? So you know what was going down that release week, bro. You know they were doing a whole lot of
I'm wearing the Theo look, so I'm allowed to make these weird,
Oh yeah, there was definitely
they were doing that.
A lot of extracurricular activities going on.
They were doing that.
A lot of fertility rituals going on.
They were doing that.
But part of it too, bro, is not because the reason that they would do it during that time is because the veil itself between reality and the spiritual world was the thinnest.
Which is funny. You say that, right? Because even though that's what was happening in Europe, what was happening in the Americas and the whole Day of the Dead and Días de los Muertos, and it's the whole thing where it's like this time of year is where the veil is the thinnest, and you can,
So everybody, well, then most cultures then have to know about whatever the sun position is, the time of the year, has to do something within the realities of where we are. Because how is it that people from another side of the world, the Celts in Europe, know about Samhain and the veil on the 31st between those dates, right? And then you have a whole other set of people, Mexico, Latin America, South America, that practice Dia de los Muertos and also have that understanding that, hey, this day and this between these days and these days, the veil between the living and the dead is the thinnest. There has to be something. How do they know that?
Hold on. I'm seeing if there's any Asian holidays to Halloween. Hungry Ghost Festival. And it's the same date as Halloween.
I think India also has one too. I think
so. There's something about this time of year.
Yes.
That happens spiritually.
Yes. 100%. 100%, bro.
There's something about this time of year that happens spiritually that, you know, and this is where the Bible kind of calls this, right? Like the battles of this earth aren't with flesh and blood, but with powers and principalities. That there's something that happens this time of year that we're supposed to either be in reverence or be more careful or whatever. So I believe there's a reason that Christians across the globe would reject this time of year, because you're more spiritually sensitive to certain things. This is why I believe that traditional fundamentalist Christians would be like, we reject this. And that would make sense to me, because if it's a global time of year where not just in, you know, ancient Gaelic times and in ancient Aztec and Mexica times, and now to come to find out Chinese and Asian and, you know, Middle Eastern, like this time of year is just creepy. It's just creepy. It's like, hey guys, well, you know, my tío that passed away 10 years ago comes around this time of year and he's not very happy. I don't know. What are your ultimate thoughts? It seems to be a universal thing.
I think it is, bro. I think that the spiritual leaders of each culture know what's happening this particular time of the year. Why there would be so much reference of the dead, the spirits, right? And so the other realm. Why would there be so much reference right around this time of year? There has to be, I'm sure that if we do some research into Native American history, they may also have something very similar within this time frame. So there's something.
Is it specifically this time frame, or is it just or the season?
I think it's a combination of both, from what I've read and from what I've gathered.
That's what I'm gathering.
Specifically with Samhain, between, like I said, 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after is usually where that energy partakes from. And not only that, they're doing their fertility rituals, they're doing all their other extracurricular activities, but they're also practicing divination. They're practicing all sorts of wicked things, which is one of the reasons, Yah decided to get rid of them back then.
I don't think so. This isn't culture.
Exacto.
This isn't culture.
But that's what was going down during those 7 days.
So,
I mean, and this is what we have based on the research that I have, but it'll be interesting to go into like Indian history and see what kind of celebrations or acknowledgement to the past do they do during this time. Because if Europe had it, Latin American had it, and we just found that on the other side of the world. What was it, China, or was that Japan?
I just put Asian, like
Asian, just Asian.
Hold on, I'll share my screen. Share screen. Here, read this.
Oh, Buddhist Taoist holiday celebrated by many Asian countries that is similar to Halloween. What's the date?
October 19th.
Interesting.
So right. So like Halloween, right. So it seems to be this time of year, at least from what I'm understanding, right? Like obviously the AI here is a little weird, right? So celebrate Let's pick this one. August 19th. So it's something about this time of year.
Very
Definitely.
interesting. Very, very interesting, bro. So yeah, guys, I mean, it's up to y'all. I'm not here to tell you guys you should or shouldn't. It's not demonic, in my opinion.
I disagree.
I
disagree. I think it is. I think
Samhain, I think Samhain could be considered demonic, but I don't think like All Hallows Eve. I don't think that is demonic.
No, but I think this is a good Christian argument for rejecting Halloween, right? We have found enough evidence on the internet and through the research that we've done to understand that there is a thinning of the veil between this reality and the spiritual reality, right? And when there's a thinning of the veil, you don't know what's coming out of the other side, right? So could it be good? Maybe. Could it be bad? Most likely. So I think that from a Christian perspective and saying, I am rejecting this is playing it safe 100%. But also like when you take the word in the Bible, and I'm not to alienate anybody who doesn't believe in God, but I'm just taking that from that perspective. It's like, okay, so he is a spiritual being saying, hey, don't mess with this. Don't do these things. You're opening up your life and you're becoming a vessel for potentially negative, low vibration things that are not of me. So why do it? So even though it is pagan, it is not of God. Things, the definition of evil is not of God. So things that are evil, you think about it, it's like, so avoid it, reject it. So I understand that. But then there's also, it's like, you're a Christian living in this culture. You live in the world, not of the world. So you still have to kind of use your discernment. It's like, what do we partake in? So it's
exactly.
I think is you have to understand that there is a demonic aspect to this. I think there is a spiritual aspect to this that isn't necessarily what you believe in, right? But you also have to, like we say in the Hispanic cultures across the world, especially the Hispanic cultures, right? It was like, I'm not saying I believe in it, and I'm just saying I'm not messing with it, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's like Santeria. I know it's real, and I don't mess with it.
No, 100%, right? Santeria, voodoo,
anything spiritual, anything
this time of year.
Nope.
This time of year, there's something about this time of year where all those people that deal with the tarot card readings, if you're a witch, if you're a santero, if you do something, if you're a shaman, something about this time of year where you are either more in tune, powers are enhanced, you're a little more sensitive than the rest of the year. And I hate it because it falls right before my birthday. So I got to when I was a single man, I would have to navigate all these little witches. And I literally mean witches, and I mean it with the B word, right? Son una, tú me hiciste brujería, brujería. It gets weird.
Anyways, so I guess the message here is, guys, use your discernment. If you guys are believers, and you guys don't want to mess with it, reject it. It's fine. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to do with your life. I know what I'm going to do in my household. And
just turning off all the lights and watching YouTube.
Probably what's gonna happen. But anyways, bro, good show.
I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you guys every single week coming in and hanging out with us. Make sure you guys follow the show. Follow Project. Yeet. Follow Gonzalez Media TV on Facebook and on Instagram. Yeet. Subscribe to the podcast on all major platforms: Spotify,
Yeet,
Apple Podcast,
yeah,
iHeartRadio,
yeah,
Google Podcast,
yeah,
and leave us a 5-star review.
Yeet.
Support the show by joining us at the Supporters Club on Spreaker, $3 a month. Link in the description. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was a cool episode. I really enjoyed talking about the Halloween and these topics. But yeah, man, it was great. It was great doing that.
Yeah, and because the holiday season is upon us, guys, be on the lookout for some extra episodes here and there, and then we'll be going on hiatus through the holidays because we like to spend time with family. So,
oh yeah, for sure. All right, guys, we'll check you guys out on the next episode.
yeet.
Yeet.